Hey, good morning, everybody. How's it going? We got Who's Islanders already going to work. Who on work, man? uh, but I get it. Mark Payne, what is going down? How is everybody this morning? Obviously, we're a little bit early for the official start of the show, as we try to do every time. Guys, if you're watching live, make sure you say what's up. Tell me where you're from if I don't already know. Also, if you're watching this later, I would love for you to check in and tell me who you are, what you ride, where you're from, all that good stuff. Hey, Roger Heard, what's happening? Because not only do I want to get to know you guys, but also it helps with the algorithm and the whole thing. The more interactions we have, the better. Robert Wayne, what's happening? From Australia, right on. What time is it in Australia right now? Tony Andrews, what's going down? Jason Lash, what up? Have you tracked your suspoosh? And is it going to be there tomorrow? I hope so. I haven't tracked it yet. Jason had us revalve his suspension, so he should be stoked. Good morning, Dan from Littleton, Colorado. It is great to see everybody here. It is a glorious day in Western Colorado. I mean, oh my gosh. The last I saw it was Monday. Dang, Jason, sorry, man. I was hoping it was going to get there faster. Unfortunately, the shipping situation these days is not always the best. 11:28 are going in Australia, so I'm guessing it's 11:28. Is it Friday there, or is that PM or AM? Also, and if it's AM, is that I don't know where Australia. I know where Australia is, but I don't know where. John Smith, man. Thanks to you and the boys for getting out and clearing. Waiting on the gate to be open to get started on the north end. Right on, Sean. Yeah, we're going out today to Jimmy Neihart. What's happening? Bryce Davis. Hey, Bryce, did you get your Scott's stabilizer? I know we got the one that we ordered in for customer at in the shop. So hopefully that showed up. Okay, Robert Wayne PM, right on. There's my mom. I love you, Mama. Suzanne Spradling. Everybody say hi to my mom. She loves it. It makes her all so excited. Roger Heard got the Prescott GP on the 21st. Unfortunately, Roger, traveling far to race is not going to happen for me for a while. With the new house and everything, it's going to be out of hand. Obviously, I haven't moved yet. We haven't sold this house yet, which is actually really nice. It's allowing us to live here and remodel that place. Crash Hard, what's happening? West Nebraska Adventure Channel, what's happening? Good morning. I'm guessing you're in Western Nebraska. See your pick by the big log. Look, might be haircut time. Yeah, Mark, the hair is out of hand. I'm actually growing it to. My goal is to outlast Foxy Bibbs. He's growing his hair. I'm growing mine. I'm going to beat him. Rook Roman, what's happening? Let's see. What else? I was going to say something else. Oh yeah. So Sean, thank you for all you do. Obviously, cutting trees. He cuts way more trees than I do in a season. He cuts here. He goes to Idaho. Whatever. That dude is a tree cutting machine. But we're getting after it, man. We're hammering down, and we're getting lots of cut. We're going out tonight, guys. That's what this whole Gospel of Two Wheels is about. We're going to talk about the whole tree cutting setup on the bike, how we do it, all that stuff. Tonight, though, we are heading up to the Spring Creek Trail, so the 2-track part. Park at the Cattle Guard on Davewood, and we're going to go drop down into Spring Creek, up Spring Creek, up Dennet Door, around, and then back down Spring Creek is the goal. And then, or we might go actually up Spring Creek and then down Dennet Door because we might try to catch a little bit of Forest Fence. But Monday, Forest Fence was too snowy to make it through. It was a bit of a thing. So we'll see. But it's been really warm and windy, so hopefully it'll all go. Awesome, Bryce. I'm glad you got your stuff. Nothing better than long locks right on Wooded Adventure. Crashed my plane in the wind yesterday. Got glue bag. Yeah, Roger got a new RC plane. Oh, they're so much fun. I haven't flown mine forever. Blown bottom end on a beta. Rick Run, what happened on that? Good morning, sir. What chain lube do you recommend? Integrity minded. I use the Z-Max chain lube actually now. I used to use Motorex Off-Road, which is really, really good. but the Z-Max stuff seems to be just as good, and it's like half the money. So check that out. Jimmy Nyhart, ever try carrying a bigger saw? Not me. Lots of guys do. Christopher Bro Lumbus, what up? Robert Boucher. Dude, I love it every time. Teddy Roosevelt, what's going on? Brent McFarland, yes, you do need to move closer. Hey, mate, do you have much to do with suspension? Yes. I have a KX 450F 2050 trying to get my suspension dialed in, and also when you setting your compression rebound, you don't put it the same number. Robert Wayne, no, my compression and rebound clickers are rarely the same. For me personally, I usually have a little more compression damping. So I'm like right now, I'm like 10 out from all the way closed, and then my rebound's more like 13. But that really depends on what kind of stuff you ride and how you ride and things like that. But Robert, the 2015 KX 450 might be one of the hardest bikes on earth to get working well everywhere except for a motocross track. Now, I don't know where you ride. So maybe out in the desert, high-speed desert stuff, which I know some of Australia has. I don't know where you are in Australia, but that high-speed stuff, that KX might be okay. But, man, in a lot of places, that KX is brutally hard to make work good. Rick Roman, chasing a lean condition, turned out left side seal after it was too late and threw a rod. Dang, Rick, that sucks. I think, actually, that might have just happened to the guy that was in the Schlag. We put a head on his KTM. This is a great story, guys. Doesn't have a happy. It's a good story for all of us. So this gentleman's name is Morgan Boldrin, great guy. Called me months in advance, ordered a head, ordered a starter. He diagnosed a lot of things. Ordered stuff for his Electron, all this stuff, and was like, yeah, I'm going to come this day. He's from out of town. So we did it all. And initially, the starter worked. The thing ran great. It was all good. And then the starter quit working, and when his starter came out, it was all clicky. If you saw it in the Schlag, it was all, anyways, notchy and terrible. So the starter was definitely bad, but because we didn't diagnose anything, right? Because he brought it in. So I just did the work, put it all together, and starter worked, seemed to be all right. He took the bike. I was super happy with the way it was running. He's like, oh my gosh, it's so peppy. It runs really good. And it's, whatever, it's amazing. Tons of torque. I love the head. And then my mom says the sound's breaking up. Mom, it's probably on your end. Mine seems to be okay. So I was like, and she's like, but the starter's not. I'm like, well, man, there could be all sorts of other things going on. There's bushings in there. It's the older starter style, like a 2013. I'm like, there's bushings, there's that Bendix, there's all kinds of stuff going on, man. I really don't know, and unfortunately we didn't have time to take it apart and diagnose anything before we ordered stuff. And the starter was bad. So anyway, he's like, whatever, I'll pick it. I'll figure that out later. So he went riding with us Thursday night, rode, bike was good, but it sounded lean. I heard him come up a couple times as we were cutting logs, and it sounded like ding, 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 ding. But then it wouldn't be, and then it was okay, and then it was, and it was off. And I'm like, hey man, at the end of the ride, it's fine. Rode down this long road back home. It was run great. I'm like, hey man, you might want to richen that thing up. It's a little on the lean side. It's Electron, which I'm not a big fan of. Normally don't run lean, but anyway, so he took it with him to Moab, rode, I think a couple days or a day anyway. And then I guess he was pinned down a road, and I think the big end locked up on the rod. And he's not blaming me. I mean, it's not my fault. But I think what it was is it might have been a lean condition like Rick was dealing with on that left side seal, and that's all stuff. So that's the problem, guys. When you I'm all super happy to try to do things for people from out of town. Obviously, suspension, we're definitely really fired up about doing that. From have people send us suspension and get it dialed in and things like that. But motor stuff, things that are if you're having a problem with something, I would recommend finding someone close to you that you can take the bike to, that they can spend time and really diagnose the issue before they start just throwing parts at it. Because in this situation, we probably would have found it, popped a new seal on that side, and it would have been fine, like no big deal. And we could have done the, the starter anyway. So kind of fix it all at once instead of like bouncing around. So anyway, I very much appreciated Morgan coming, and I'm super bummed out that his bike, I think, is broken. I haven't talked to him since the last time, but anyway, so a little bit of a cautionary tale there. Yeah, my mom says, don't forget to give that. Hopefully, guys, the sound seems good. And yes, Dad, tight lines in August. My dad and I are going fly fishing up in Missoula, Montana in August. It's going to be awesome. David Barbercheck, 2019 65 SX has a 20 leak jet in it. Have to have the idle screw in all the way for it to start. How much bigger should I go? A 20 leak jet. Is it a leak jet? In a two-stroke? I mean, are you talking about pilot jet, Dave? Let me know, because I don't know. Or is that the jet on the bell of the carburetor? Let me know. Doug Summerfield, right on. Get out and hammer that new suspension, dude. Rick Roman, it's super hard to diagnose over chat. It's really ridiculous. Yeah. Hey, Eric Bryan, what's happening, man? What's going down? Mark Payne, going to be in Montana in June. Mike Coles, thanks a lot. And you're welcome for clearing trails. That's what we love to do. So, all right, let's get to talk about the trail clearing. Jimmy and I, what were the dates for the house party? I don't know yet because we're a long way from moving in. But see, Kevin O'Loughlin, I don't see Brady here. I will comment for him. My four-stroke doesn't have jetting issues. Yes. Thank you, Kevin O'Loughlin. I love it. KO, you're the best. David Barbercheck, yes, pilot jet. So, David, I'd go up. I would just go up 2 and see if it gets better. Crash Hard and serious questions. Why do betas suck? I don't think betas suck, actually, Crash Hard, at all. They used to suck. They've had problems, obviously, like every other thing. But yeah. Oh, you know what, guys? I haven't started the official thing. I'm just going to do the start real fast, and we'll get back at it. Guys, welcome to the Gospel Two Wheels number 181, where the coffee's hot, the bikes are fast, and your comments are absolutely ridiculous. Sorry it took me so long to get that started. Anyway, today we're here talking about, well, we're talking about everything related to dirt bikes and obviously my house and coming out. But we're also talking about carrying chainsaws and clearing trail. So let's get into that. Let's dive into that. So Jason Lash, consistent problem, 300 RR. TPI life is life, says Jimmy Nehart. Well, my bike will hopefully be here relatively soon. I don't know when it's going to be here. Oh, May 10th is the big release from KTM, and we're going to find out lots about them. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I'm going to try to do sort of like reaction video to that video, stuff like that on the new two strokes, the new XCs at least. But let's talk about chainsaws and things like that. Let's start with, first of all, what I run. My chainsaw is a Steel MS-194T. So that is an arborist saw, a limb saw, a top handle, so you can hold it one-handed and swing the thing around, cut stuff. It's a 16-inch bar. I think it's maybe like a 28C motor. It's a small little motor. It's carbureted, and Brady better was trying to get a hummingbird out. That's awesome. Anyway, it's a wicked little saw. If you guys saw the pictures from Facebook and video, it can cut giant trees if you take your time and you want to do it. It's a crazy little saw. It doesn't weigh much. It's like 7 pounds, I think, is what it weighs. I run the Bill Dart saw mount on the front of the bike. A lot of guys like to run the backpack style because they don't want to add weight to the bike. I like I like it having on the bike and not on my back. The bike's handles just fine with the Bill Dart mount. It's bolted to the front of the bike. It's bolted to both the top and bottom triple clamps, and it's aluminum and it's super burly. And when you get the straps on there, you can pretty much just ride like you would normally ride. Like I wouldn't want to race with that thing up there, but honestly, it's not bad. And so that setup, if you were to go buy that exact setup right now, I think you'd be about $500 for the mount and the saw. And while that is, a lot of money, that's, less than the price of new boots these days, which I'm finding because I just ordered a new set of boots. But and then, obviously it lasts a long time. I carry a little extra. I carry like 2 extra chains with me. So one on the bar and then 2 in my pack. I carry the scrunch, they call it, the screwdriver wrench that comes with the thing, so I can adjust the chain and take the chain off and all that good stuff. I don't carry wedges. Bob Mackey asked if I carry wedges. I really should. I might start carrying at least one, because it's real easy for a tree to come down and bind your bar up in there, and then you got to take the power head off and go and then come back with a bigger saw, whatever. So so I don't have wedges, but I should. The plastic ones they don't weigh much. And then, like I said, I carry extra chains because our buddies at Westcore, they have the super cool, I think it's Oregon makes it, chain sharpening tool. It's like electric and it's like super fast, super precise. And Jamie will just sharpen chains for us for free. So I just go until I dull the chains. I take them off, give them to him. He sharpens them up, whatever. So I don't carry a file or anything like that when I'm out. I don't, it's just, honestly, it only takes about 5 minutes to swap a chain, and it's usually kind of a nice break. I mean, if you're cutting that much and you're getting that much done, it's kind of nice to take a break, sit down on a log and change the chain. It's just easier. Let's see. You guys are awesome, by the way. I love you guys. Shutting the bar on my husky works so much better. Yeah, Rick. I mean, a bigger saw obviously would, cut better, but I just like how that 194, it's just little and it's really nice. I really like top handle saws too. Jimmy Nyhart, yes, full size saw works just fine on that mount, the Bill Dart mount, no problem. I don't know if Sean is still here. He sometimes carries a real big saw when he goes up to Idaho and cuts huge trees. The trees in Idaho fall down anyway, whatever. So Doug Sommerfeld, excuse me, run the EE saw mount and MS-170. The EE saw mount is good, but it's like, yeah, I don't like the EE saw mount as much. It's nice because I think it might be a little easier off and on with the saw. It's also just strapped to the forks, which is kind of nice. It's pretty easy to get on and off of the bike. So it's really easy to take the thing off, put a headlight back on, or put another plate back on. Mine, basically, once that thing's on there, I don't really want to take it off until the end of the season. It's kind of not that awesome. So the EE definitely beats the Bill Dart there. But as far as security on the bike and being able to really ride fast, it's pretty easy. There you go. Sean Smith, Bill Dart will carry a 216. No worries. I use the big saw early season, the 194T the rest of the summer. So there we go. Sean answered that question. I knew he knew. Yeah, the Bill Dart mount is really, it's the gold standard for mounts, especially if you're like committing to just doing that for a while. It is nice to have, it's nice to have 2 bikes, right? Like now my 300 has that on it. I'm done. I'm not going to probably race that thing unless I absolutely have to. I'm back on the 125 for the Natarita race and probably Monticello too until the new bike shows up and I get the, whatever. But pretty much my 300 is just going to be my trail cutting rig. I need to find a way to mount a light. I think I've got an idea of how to mount a light down on the bottom part of it, so I still have a headlight on it because it's street legal and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. Maybe Sean, since you're watching, if you could chime in with like the extra things that you carry. I already mentioned, like I said, I carry 2 extra chains and the scrunch. Oh, I also carry bar oil. And then one of the things that for me, and this actually be good to talk to Sean about, he can chime in, is how he carries gas. Because for me, it works really well. The fact that my bike is carbureted. Everybody make fun of my carbureted bike and all that good stuff. But because it's carbureted, it just has a hose that goes from the petcock to the carburetor. I can pop that off, drain 2-stroke mixed gas into my chainsaw and run it. So I can run that saw, as long as I have bar oil, I can run that saw forever on that gas. So I really, really, really like the fact I don't have to carry other gas for the saw. I don't know if you guys watched the video of us cutting that tree, but I had to fill that saw up twice. Actually, I didn't put both of the fill ups in. I don't think the video. Anyway, I had to fill up twice to get through that thing. So, yeah, I really like that. But Sean, maybe you could, if you have a chance, tell the people who have TPIs or fuel injected 4-strokes that you don't have mixed. Maybe you could tell them how to do it. Some extra gas and a 2-liter is in 2 1-liter MSR fuel bottles. I find that is enough before I'm too tired and just want to turn around and go home. There we go. That's awesome. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate that. So yeah, like 2 1-liter bottles. I mean, if you guys have run chainsaws before, you know that they run pretty long on a little tiny tank of gas. But when you're dealing with that huge thing that I was dealing with, it's sitting there for a long time. Now, if I were like Sean and I carried a big saw early season, I would have gotten through it way faster. But I don't have another saw. I do. Well, actually, technically, my wife has a bigger saw. It's a Farm Boss something. Anyway, but that's hers. I don't take it with me and whatever because I'm the reason we can't have nice things. So I leave hers alone. Let's see. 4-stroke saws are way better. Brady Meadow, you're ridiculous. They do make some fuel injected chainsaws that are, oh my gosh, absolutely out of hand. Check out the guy on Dirt Bike channel. He carries a fuel bottle on the front fender. Always looks secure. Right on, Wooded Adventures. So yeah, that would work. Although I don't think a fuel bottle would work on the front fender for the Bill Dart having the saw up there. I don't, because it would be too far forward and bounce around and maybe break the fender or come on. I don't know. But the big wood at wide and full open eats fuel pretty quick. It did eat lots of gas very fast. But I guess, guys, the point of me posting those and really trying to put lots of pictures up there and lots of videos of us cutting trail is not to promote me or what we're doing. I'm not trying to say, hey, look at me. What I'm trying to do is reach out to the rest of the recreational community. So mountain bikers, hikers, hunters, bird, whatever, and say, hey, dirt bikers are out working hard to clear your trails. So why don't you maybe cut us a little bit of slack on the hatred that sometimes we get? Not everybody does. We get a lot of thank yous from a lot of people. So I'm not saying that everybody is just, always hating on dirt bikes, but it happens. And around here, we get a little bit of flack for the fact that we're trying to get up on the plateau before it opens legally so that we can get the trails open before the open date so people don't start going around and causing all kinds of problems. Brady Metter DeWalt electric saw with big batteries lasts forever. I don't think is like, I don't know. I have one friend that has an electric chainsaw and it did okay, but the problem is you just can't get as much done. Like there's no way I could have got that huge tree done with an electric saw. I couldn't have carried enough batteries. Let's put it that way. Found it says your signal is chatter. I'm guessing my signal. So I'm sorry guys, if it's breaking up. I mean, my signal on my end looks good. So maybe, Roger heard she won't let you use her saw. No I in marriage. That's awesome. Oh, it's so good. She would actually let me use the saw. I just don't. um, right on. Glad it's better now. I don't know. The internet's weird. But yeah, so that's the reason. And guys, that's the reason I'm trying to promote other people getting saws and getting out and clearing trails. Because if there's more of us with chainsaws that can afford to have one, the faster the trails get cleared, the faster we can get out there and have fun, the less go arounds. Also, and I'm not saying anyone here is saying this, but if you are one of those people or those people who make the comment on my videos or pictures like, oh, you should have left that one, let's go over it. Stop that. Like, please. That is ridiculous. Okay. I get it. Maybe you're Johnny Jarvis and you can jump over whatever you want to jump over and all that stuff. I'm not horrible at it myself. Okay. I'm not the best at it, but I'm not bad at jumping logs. And in fact, I really enjoy it. But here's the deal. All these pictures and things like that are me cutting legal trails. And those legal trails need to have the freaking logs cut. Because if we don't, the people who can't go over those logs go around those logs. And then when they do that, and a hiker comes up or a mountain biker comes up or whatever, or a Forest Service employee or whatever comes up, they see the go around and they get mad, right? And they get super mad and they're like, and they throw a fit. These people going around, whatever. So stop making those comments. If you're watching this and you're one of those people, stop making those comments. If you want logs to jump over, and you're on the trail, just look to the right or look to the left. There's thousands and thousands of logs for you to go practice jumping over. So stop it, please. It's so annoying. Also, if you're going to cut them wide. There are some people I know who, I'm not going to mention names. I want to because it drives me nuts, who purposefully cut trees super, super narrow. And they're like, they say that they're doing it to keep the tracks and whatever. That's BS. If we're on a dirt bike and you're moving down the trail, which is the whole point of a dirt bike, right? If you want to go slow on a trail, you can take your mountain bike or hike or whatever. But the whole reason any human put an engine between those two wheels was to go faster than you can pedaling or walking. So if you're going down the trail pretty quick and those things are too close, then I've seen so many people smack their freaking feet on things. I've smacked my feet. I broke my foot actually on one. It's, well, you could say, oh, slow down, whatever. It's silly. Cut the freaking things wide. Make it so we can get through there nice and easy. It makes horses, honestly, happier if you're open. Yeah, Bryce Davis. Thank you. Bryce gets it. So if you can make that wide enough for horses and those people, they'll be super happy about us cutting trails and things like that. So just make it wide. I don't know, maybe at the very beginning of a trail coming off of a road, if you want to cut that one a little narrower, like it doesn't need to be narrow enough that you can't get your feet through it, but a little bit narrower there so that ATVs wouldn't start down the trail. But I've seen these people like in the middle of the Alpine Trail cut two logs. Like there's no way an ATV could ever get there, right? And cut logs so narrow that you had to like almost stop and move. It's ridiculous. So anyway, there's my little rant. Let's see, TJ, what up, TJ? Am I going to see you in Natarita, first of all? I carry a chainsaw with a D-ring welded at each end. This becomes a two-man chainsaw to rip small logs and fits in my pack all cold. Oh, yeah, one of those chainsaw chains. Oh, gotcha. Oh, chainsaw. I didn't read the chain. Anyway, that's awesome. And then they make those chainsaw chain style things. Also, I cannot stress enough like how huge of a logs we've cut with a Silky Big Boy. So it's a folding saw. It's like folded up. It's about like that, and then it folds out. It's got the kind of curved saw on them. They're freaking gnarly, and they can cut. You can cut a ton of stuff. For a long time, that's all I had. I didn't have a chainsaw mount for a few years, and so we would go out and man, you can get a ton of work done. You just trade off with your buddies and take a few pulls and then send it on down the line. But those things are massive. So, and they're like, I want to say they're under $100. They're kind of getting expensive. But they're but they're not bad. And then you can replace the blades and all that stuff. I highly recommend them if you just can't swing a saw or you don't want to get the mount or whatever. I get it. $500 is a lot of money to add to a bike that's already crazy expensive, but those Silkies are really, really good. And Brady, I know you would be a machine. It'd be awesome. And TJ, great to see you in Natarita. I'm going to be back on the little bike coming for you. Roger Hurd, puff puff pass. I knew that was coming from someone. Yes, Kevin O'Loughlin, for Zach. Absolutely. Oh, that's so good. Why would they be getting expensive? Everything is now. I don't know. Everything is so freaking expensive. It's ridiculous. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Foxy Bibbs just bought a battery for his 4Runner. It cost him $200 for a car battery, and he bought a nice one, but whatever. And so that's just a 4Runner. I can't imagine if you have a big diesel truck with 2 batteries. And anyway, it would be. So yeah, any other questions about cutting? I really can't recommend it enough. It really helps out the community a lot. It also is honestly just a ton of fun. Like Ewan, when we got done with that huge tree and we got back to the truck, he just looked at me. He's like, "Dad, I just love that kind of work. I just love that work. It's physical, it's hard, and when you're done, there's this thing you can see. It's awesome." And I couldn't agree more. Cutting trail is a very rewarding thing, even if no one knows that you're doing it. Just the fact that you're out there doing it and making a trail better, better for novice riders, better for everybody out there, keeping people on the trail, all that stuff. It just feels great. And like I said, of course, I try to, I try to get, publicize our stuff. I'm a social media guy, that's part of what I do for a living, really. I mean, here we are on YouTube and all this stuff. So yeah, it is I try to publicize my stuff. But I can tell you, I get a lot of trails and a lot of things that no one knows about. So, there's lots of things out there that aren't on maps and stuff like that we take care of and try to get done. And I just think it feels really good. Highly recommend it. Also, if you can get together with more than one saw, it's pretty nice, because if you have one saw and 2 swampers, so the 2 swampers per saw. Kevin O'Loughlin, thank you. Soft fuel, appreciate it. That really is good, because if you've got 2 swampers moving the things that you cut, if you can have 2 saws, and 2 people per saw, 2 extra people per saw, you can really get some stuff done. You can like leapfrog down the trail and like hammer down and really knock some stuff out. Sean says, for a light weight carrying. For a light while carrying a saw, get something like Baja Designs S1 bolted just under the saw on the bottom of the mount of the Barkbuster. You get caught out in the dark and cutting. Yeah, thanks, Sean. That's what I was kind of thinking. I didn't know what it was called. The S1, is that the little 2 LED one? If you don't have time to respond, no worries. But yeah, that's what I was thinking, is put it underneath that thing so I can get out. Also, I generally carry a helmet light, but I want a headlight also, just so, in case I got to go down a road when we're done and be legal. I fully understand the satisfaction. Okay. Awesome, guys. It's the single right now. Sweet. Thank you. Guys, I love you. It's 8 o'clock. I got to get my butt to work. We have so much work to do. Thursday night ride. We're cutting trees. We're going to have fun. We're on the plateau. It's going to be awesome. So I love you guys. Get out. Spread the gospel of 2 wheels. Maybe spread the gospel of tree cutting if you can. And I hope that what we're doing here at Highland Cycles is inspiring you guys to work on, but more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes.